y'all? It's your girl Rue, back with the, I don't know what I'm back with, honestly. Shoot, the days is running together. At least the sun coming out. Here's our February wrap-up. So I read 15 books this month, like last month, February. So that's a lot for me. And I must say that it kind of put me in like a slump. Like I'm kind of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but your love a girl is over it. Like, girl. Anyways, but let's talk about them because the books I read was real good. I am surprisingly second month of the year keeping up with my book journal. This was February's, so if you see me looking down, I have a few notes on the opposite side, and we just gonna get into it. Starting out with our book of the month, which was Sweet Hand by N.G. Pelter, and then I'm gonna be putting the pictures somewhere. This book was cute. It was cutesy, very light compared to some of the stuff I was reading. I gave this book, I think 3.5 stars and 2 spices. It had a little bit. It's very tame. It's very tame. If you're not into the super spicy, read this one. I personally only gave it 3.5 stars because I don't like enemies to lover. You're not gonna be mean to me and then we turn it around and be friends. Hell nah. Get somebody else to do it. Once we beef forever, unless I forget, and then I'll probably see you and remember and be like, no, y'all, sorry, I don't know what's going on with the light and I think I'm moving too much. Just Right by Sean, and it's actually called Just Right, a Why Choose, and that is where your girl learned what a why choose story. I had no idea. Going into these books, I did learn last month that I cannot keep judging books by the cover. I kind of got to read the back because it was some surprises for real this month. Like, sometimes it pays to read the back of the cover and don't just buy it because it's a pretty cover. But yeah, Just Right is about, it's kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? So Goldilocks like breaks into a house and it's 3 guys and then they just why choose. I gave that one 5 stars. I'm trying not to do spoilers because I did get some feedback on my last wrap up and y'all said y'all don't want spoilers, but also it's the end of the month. I've been posting them. You should have read it when I read it. Anyways, she break into their house. They ended up really liking her, and it's a couple of guys that are married and then their best friend who is not involved with them, but he just lives with them and understands their lifestyle. And then there's Golden, the girl who she liked a couple of guys, but also she liked Rome. And again, the couple of guys, I can't tell you them fellas names, but Rome, if you know, you know. He ain't played, none of them played about her, but Rome, he was like, they were like grumpy sunshine, like, cause he wasn't mean to her, but he really treated her like, he would like, she would just be talking and he'd just be like, yeah, you know, like he didn't want to talk to her, but he did. He was mean. He was grumpy, and she was like bright, sunny, bubbly, and I like that. I like that. I didn't know I liked that until I read it, but yeah. So her and Rome hunching, the couple of guys is hunching, and she hunching with the couple of guys. It was a lot of hunching, and that's why I gave it 4 spices, because everybody was hunching each other except Rome was only hunching the girl. And I like, they bought her a bookshop. Like, I mean, the situation, if you've read Just Right by Sean, comment below and tell me if you would do that situation, because anyways, after that I read this book, My Crazy Love by Sheree Lewis. Y'all, this book had me on an emotional roller coaster. It's about this girl trying to find love, y'all, and it's been so long. I feel like it's been so long, but I think his name started with a D. I cannot remember it, but he didn't play about her, and the guy she was with was playing real hard about her, cheating on her, you know, thinking he's the ish. Anyways, it's like a hood novella. I'm trying to think of any trigger warnings. There's a little bit of violence, domestic disputes, gun shootings. They shooting and it leaves you on a cliffhanger, but it's a happy ending, and I'm very happy for that girl. I gave that book 4 stars and 3 spices. It was just regular, like, you know, hunching. They wasn't doing nothing too crazy. Then I read Loved by You, a second chance romance. Chewy. I'm not a fan of second chance romances either. Enemies to lovers, second chance romance. Now what he did wasn't that bad. But then again, it was. College lovers, they broke up right when she found out her ego was preggo, and he showed his ass. And she never told him, and the stress of it, you know, she had a miscarriage. And she went through that all by herself with her mama, who's she thinks is trying to control her, but she's like, you know, you always call me when you're in trouble, blah, 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 whatever. Y'all, the story was cute. I gave it 3.5 stars. 2 spices. It ain't too hot. It's kind of like Sweet Hand. They kiss and, you know, touch and hunch a little. It's a little hunching. Anything I give 4 spices, they was in there hunching. Loved by You, they hunched a little. Anyways, it was cute. They ended up getting back together. Now, me personally, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. I don't like second chances. You had a chance. What'd you go and mess it up for? Treating me bad and like you didn't care? Nah, player. But he did prove himself, so I gave that one a pass, and that's why I got the 1/2 star, because he did work really hard to get her back. So yeah, if you're into second chance love stories, you'll probably really like that one. Me, I'm gonna insert right here. It was a nay. I liked it, but I didn't. Then all of these is love stories, by the way. I read Relationship Goals. Y'all, this book was cutesy. 3 stars, 2 spices. Again, real sweet, real cute. After reading that crazy ass after reading Just Right, the Why Choose, where they was hunching all over, as you can see, I took it real easy on the spice level after, because I was like, what the hell did I just read? Like, it was almost too spicy for me, but then I was like, if you think about it though, they wasn't doing nothing crazy. It was just like the dynamics, like how Just Right was wild. She was getting hunched a lot, and I just was like, oh my god, but not in a judgy way, just like shocked, you know. Anyways, so Relationship Goals is like this girl, she's like an IG influencer, and she's in the airport waiting, and this guy who is like a director, movie director, whatever, he's walking in the airport too, but somebody bumped him and he spilled his coffee, and she like instinctively just jumps up and goes and like takes some napkins and like helps him clean up and pick up all the shit he dropped, and he just turned around and kissed her. He don't know her from a can of paint, just putting your lips all and tongue all down her throat. I mean, they was kissing. And someone snapped a picture like, oh, she got a boyfriend, because she's very like viral, I guess, on the IG. And you know, she ended up finding the people who snapped the picture, because she didn't do nothing but get kissed back. She just stood there and let a stranger kiss her. If you was in the airport, I know it's fiction, but if you was in the airport and you helped someone and they looked at you and they grabbed you and they just tongued you down, what would you do? I'd be like, get you, I don't know you, stranger. But anyways, they end up finding each other, and he ends up having sickle cell, I think it is, and he was trying his best to go on a date, and he canceled on her after she got real excited. And I've had that happen to me before, and you know what, I do not blame her, because she was like, you know what, if it don't, I don't got nothing for you. But again, it's kind of like a second chance within this regular love story, where he's like, you know, sorry, but he was refusing to tell her why he canceled originally, and then he kept having to cancel, and then she seen him get sick, and then they like got in a relationship, and it was really sweet and cute, and I was like, oh, you guys. And I gave it 3 stars. It was all right. 3 stars, 2 spicy, because they hunched, but it was like the safest hunch ever, because he was feeling sick from the sickle cell, and you know, they don't have a lot of energy. If you know about sickle cell, they don't have a lot of energy, but I did like it. It was cutesy, real cute, y'all. Then I read Thick of Love. 5 stars. Let's start off. 5 stars, 3.5 spices. this book, it follows 4 women. I remember none of their names, I'm sorry, but Diego, he is one of the 4 women. It's a friend group. One woman is having baby daddy issues. He ain't that baby daddy. I ain't never wanted to beat a book character's ass so bad before. I couldn't hardly take it. I had to stop. I had to take breaks from reading because I wanted to physically harm this fictional character. Lord, he was a mess. And he had a son that was a junior, and the mama finally found love, although he was a little off. He was like an ex-military guy, and so of course he had PTSD, and he would flip. I don't mind it. I didn't mind him flipping. I mean, you know, it was justified. It was justified. But either way, then there's another girl. She's a dancer, and she has been working love, y'all. Like, she was dating this guy, and he lost his damn mind. I want to beat him up too, because once she decided to date her friend's brother, who is Diego, he was like, girl, you gonna quit playing with me. Diego's energy, that's what I'm talking about. Think like I can't even describe it. He just knew. Okay, he came from a rough background. I'm trying to fight the I only like gangsters, or like, I say I like manly men, but I'm trying to fight this accusation that my friends be giving me, and I can't live down. But Diego, he been down before, you know. He used to sell drugs, got locked up a little bit, but he got his life together and got on the straight and narrow. But he still don't tolerate a lot. And this girl, the dancer girl, she's like, I want my own studio, da da da. And she get into a fight because some girl that's dating her man come up in the class and was like, yeah, I can't wait to do these tricks for my man, whatever his name was. I think his name was Jackson. And I only remember that because that's my last name. And she was like, excuse me, who? And then the girl got in her face, and she whooped that girl butt. But Diego put her off and was like, now you know you should not be fighting, da 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 da, whatever. He did so much for her, but she played with him a little bit, and I didn't like that, because he was like, okay, you gonna play? But then also they had petty arguments too, and I didn't like that. But then the other girl is a married woman, y'all. She's trying to have a baby. She can't have babies, and she thinks it's her when the whole time it's the god dog husband. And she got this new neighbor that will move in. The way they describe him is like, he handsome, he fine or whatever, but he got a little girl, and her mama ain't acting right. Her mama is not okay, and so she babysit for him, and they become friends, and her husband get jealous. But all the while, the husband got these 2 twin cousins. Let me just say, that husband ain't shit, and I want to beat him up too. These characters in this book were so good. The love stories were so good. I love how most of them, I think they actually all got happy endings. Like, I like that. I like when they go, like, these women were going through it, y'all. They was going through it. Like, the one with the baby daddy, she was like, I just need this trip. Her friends, she want a trip with her friends, and she'd been on top of like throughout the book. They basically describe like how she is on top of everything with these kids. She got 2 or 3 kids too, I think, and she's just like, I'm on top of it. I'm on top of my bills. I don't have to ask their daddy for nothing. And then she go on a trip and forget the electric bill. Come home, the lights is off. Of course, you know, everybody's forgotten a bill once. And she called her dad like, hey, I need the lights on. She was like, I got this. I think it was like $150. And he was like, call your new man. Why the baby? The mama was too prideful. She was like, fuck it, you know, I'll figure it out. Blah, blah, blah. She gonna have to do, she said something about like calling her parents or something, even though she didn't want to. She was going to. And she was in her room, like, toe down, breaking down, crying. Like, you can't even put the lights on for your kids. And he's steady threatening to take the kids. And the baby, who was acting the ass with the new boyfriend, called the new boyfriend, and he cussed. I mean, military man laid in her ass like, what you mean you didn't feel like you should have to call me? You didn't want to call me? Like, oh yes, be a man. Shit. He's like, you didn't think to call me? Like, I'm supposed to be your man. You didn't want no support, da da da. And he was like, just tell me what the bill is. She didn't have to worry about another bill. I love that for her. I love that for all of them, because all of them was stressing about something, and the men were like, what you stressing for? You got me. And I was like, That's how you know it's fiction, because it's hard. I mean, it's people who got it. It's people who got it in real life. But in my fiction world, Thick of Love. Read that. It's like a sitcom. I want that to be like a TV show for real. It was good. 5 stars. 5 stars across the board. And the way they was turning them ladies every way but loose. I gave that 5 stars. Okay, next I read a poetry book and I gave it 3 stars. No spices. There was no spicy poems in it. It's called Pick Her Flowers. I'm inserting it here. I'm gonna try and say his name. You know what? I'm gonna make sure you can see it on the picture. There was a few poems I liked, but I only gave it 3 stars, and I don't know why. It wasn't like the poems were about love, but he just seemed like he missed the girl that he was writing about, and I find that romantic. But also, I wonder what he did that she didn't want to, you know, keep things going, because girl, he miss you. He miss you. You need to come home, Charlene. That's what it was given, but I liked it. All right. Okay, so the Evermore series by Brienne Denée. The books are Heat of the Moment. You read these in this order. Here With You Forever and Fate of Our Future. It's about this. They're 3 girls and they're friends, but Heat of the Moment. This one is about this girl, and she like, this is my last night in this city. I have to look at my notes, y'all. I'm about to go out, and her friends is like, they always daring each other to do shit, and they was like, we dare you to have one night stand. And she in the club, tough. She got her people with me, the hottest people in the city, and she keep them with her, okay? And this man, and she like, hey, what's up? And he like walk out the section or whatever, and they go in the office, and she's very bold and forth-putting, and he let's just say he devours her. That's a good way to put it. And then it's like, hey, here's a room key, here's my hotel, meet me there, and leaves. And she got to get herself together and go back and have the fun. She stayed at the club. She's like, oh, thank God, you know, I'm never gonna see him again. I can't believe I did that. Because she go to the hotel that night too and gets turned every way but loose, as we like to say. Lo and behold, child, she got a friend back home, where she moved back home to Kansas City. She in Dallas. I forgot to say that. So she got a friend back home in KC. So she got her god baby. Why? The god baby's daddy passed away, right? Why? Her best friend is like, oh yeah, you know, his uncle's coming, whatever. Why is the man from Dallas in the club, the guy baby's uncle, and show up at the guy baby birthday party? Oh, after she done turned, they turned each other every way but loose, and had acted an ass because she thought, I'm never gonna see this man again. Bullshit. You know when you never say never. The way they described her, she said when he came to the party, she said she tried to leave and go get more ice, and the baby grandma was like, girl, you just came back from the stove, send so-and-so. I'm gonna send so-and-so. You know how you trying to get out something, your aunties be like, sit down, girl, no, we can send. Lord, the way she wouldn't have got enough, I would have moved so fast, she wouldn't have been able to. I would have been at Quick Trip for hours. I probably just would have went home and missed the baby party. But she was like, oh, you know him? And she was like, that's Dallas. You know how we do, girls, when we give everybody a nickname and be like, Dallas, that's Dallas. And she was like, oh no, his name's Zahir, he don't play about her. And they just go on dates and finally get to know each other, and it's a real good book. So I gave that 4 stars and 3 spices. So it's about the friend who got the baby, the little boy, and his godfather is the baby's, okay, so the girl from the first book's best friend with the little baby is who Here Forever is about. The baby got this goddad who, the baby's dad passed away. He got murdered in a car accident, and he had side pieces. He wasn't doing it right. So basically the godfather was like, he's gone. He always been around, and lo and find out, they've been, they hunched a little bit in college, but then the baby's dad came around and was like, y'all put me on her, and he backed off. He was like, you my dog, whatever, I'm gonna back off. But when I tell you that the godfather then took his time and was like, he wore her down because she was like, no, we can't do that, we can't do this. Finally they did it, and she got turned every way but loose. All I can say, yeah. Yeah, he was not playing with her. He would come by and give her wads of money too for the baby. He came by and put all the toys together from the birthday party. He brought batteries. Like, do you know how nice it is that someone remembered that your kids' toys needed batteries and helped you put them together because your baby been crying and asking everybody about it? Oh, do you know how hard it is putting these kids' toys together? I don't got kids, but I know it's hard. Anyways, they end up happily ever after too. And then, anyways, fate of our future is this girl Amira, I think is her name, and she from KC native, whatever. And in these other two stories, she is married to the juice guy, and the juice guy is like a trainer, has a gym, and so the other ladies from the other two books always working out there. But Amira this is their story about how they met in college, and then she broke up with him. It was so heartbreaking. I was like, girl, wait. But I get why she did it. It's second chance, but I actually liked it. And then it talks about them having a fake marriage. He was like, yo, I need to get married before my dad come home, and you need a place to stay. She got illegally evicted from some slumlord in KC. We know they around. But yeah, either way, you know, it's about how they met and how they came to be, and they was fake married. But he was so serious the whole time. He was like, yeah, for pretend. But he said from the very beginning of the book, he knew that was his wife and he wasn't gonna have no one else. But he was hunching, and his side girls didn't like that he finally settled down. One tried to hit her with a car, y'all. It is so messy and drama free. And Sanovi from Keep Giving Her Love, and Torin, that's her name, they're in that one. I gave that one 5.5. Yeah, 4.5 stars, because, and 3 spices, because again, every way but loose, baby. Every way but loose. I love it. Next 2 books are erotica, and they were suggested to me from co-workers and some of y'all on Instagram. You nasties, I love you. First one is Caramel Delight. I'm gonna put it over here somewhere again. Y'all, this is about this girl. She go on vacation with her friend. She's like, I really need to get away, and last minute invites like her friend. He happens to be I think he's gay, I can't remember, or bi, something like that. Anyways, they get 2 cabanas next to each other, and she like, nah, on this trip, he's like, on this trip you promised me you are gonna not be boring and you gonna cut up a little bit. And so on the first night she meets he's either Polynesian, they in Hawaii, he's either Polynesian or Samoan, I can't remember, but they mention it in the book exactly. But he's fine, and he's a chef, and his brother-in-law is getting on his nerves. He's got big family, which they tend to have, but she meets him because she ordered food late, and he's like, you know, and he in the kitchen cussing his brother-in-law out, like, don't make me call my sister, because she really runs everything. And since their parents died, you know, she got the fortune, and she splits it with her 2 younger brothers. But you know, she's like the matriarch of the family now, and her husband like run off and calls her and it's like apologizing, blah blah blah. He's like, you know what, F it, I quit anyways. And he's like got a job lined up in the state, well, the mainland I should say. And so and it's at the place where the girl is from. So she orders food, and he brings it, and she is like, she opened that door and was like, oh damn, this one. He was like, well, I hope you enjoy the food, you know, I'm the chef, blah 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 blah, let me know and I'll cook you whatever you want whenever. Let me tell you right now, I would have gotten on the phone and ordered more food, especially because the way she described the food was delicious. So he's like, dang, she was, you know, he's feeling the same thing. He's like, damn, she kind of fun, I can't let her go. And he's used to hunching on the ladies on the island, just to hunch, you know. But he said there's something special about her. And her roommate, or her friend comes out his cabana, is like, dang, you didn't say you was ordering food, that smells good, blah blah blah. And he's like, hey, like, what y'all doing later? And invites them to his family's like cookout they have every weekend, which I relate to because back in the day my grandparents used to have fish fry Fridays, and so it was kind of like that. But I mean, I am only half a first chapter in, and he takes her to that beach. They kiki a little bit, have a few drinks, and he drags her down the beach and just hunch. They was F-U-C-K-I-N-G. They was K-I-S-S-I-N-G and F-U-C-K-I-N-G on the sand in the beach all night. To the point where her friend made it back home some mysterious way. He drove them there. Like, what? Oh my gosh. He had that lady going every way but loose. It was so bad that he lived in a house with his brother where he lived like downstairs and the brother lived upstairs or something. And the brother brought home a little friend and they was in the kitchen hunching. And he was like, bro, around the food? Like, God, dog. And to the point where like the locals, he was just hunching out in the open. They was hunching. What's Sam I say? Hunching in the car, hunching everywhere, hunching. It was a lot. I said, oh my God, the shock and appalledness, but the plot was there. The plot wasn't the hunching. And that's why I gave that one 5 stars. 5 stars, baby. And 4 spices, because they weren't doing nothing too crazy, but they was everywhere with it. No cares. And he ended up, the ending was good. Like the plot of it, she just absolutely could not be me. Because what do you mean he just got on a plane and went back to the mainland to live with you? What? What? Fiction's wild. It's a wild place in this fictional world that we live in. Anyways, 5 stars. Then I read Brienne Dene again, and she's got this audiobook on her website called Talk to Me Nicely, and let me tell you, it clearly states erotica, so I knew what I was getting into. I listened to the audiobook, y'all. There was sound effects, okay? This girl is a sex worker, but she has a normal job too. And she is just living life, going through, you know, and she's got some favorites. And one of her favorites, you know, calls in, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's like a radio host, I think. Yeah. And so she's at work and she's like, yeah, I got this girl here, blah, blah, blah. And there's this man with her and she's like, damn, this man is fine. Who is this with her? Hopefully not her man, because she is eyeing him. And so finally they're on air and she's like, so who you got here with you? And he talks, and it's one of her, she does like, faceless video chats, I guess, kind of like on some app like OnlyFans, but you can like, they pay to have, I don't know, they pay to have personal time with her or whatever. And she was like, damn. And he talks and she instantly knows who it is because just that night they was on the internet hunching. And he said he knew who it was because of her nails that she had on. So when she's at work on the radio, click-clacking the buttons and turning the knobs or whatever the fuck they do at the radio station, he was eyeing her nails the whole time like, damn, I know that's not her. And then her voice. So then after they have a moment when she realized, she start to panic. Like, bitch, keep it together. Have some decorum. Keep it together. She was like, I know this ain't, how is he fine too? I thought his face was gonna be ugly. But nah. And so she's like, they go on commercial break, and the way she ran out the room and the way he tell his little sister's like, damn, what's up with that? And he's like, oh, you know, we got history. One night is not history. You hunched her last night and she hunched you back and got you off, and y'all is nasty together without being physically together. But y'all talk shit about being physically together, and now look at you. So he chased her down, and she said he was so tall that it only took him 3 strides to catch up with you. And I tell you what, you ever try to walk away, briskly walk away from a tall person? It'll piss you off so bad. Being 5'2" and trying to walk away from somebody tall, it do only take them 2 to 3 steps to catch up. Like, bro, what are you going? Where are you going? It just have you like, I should have tried to sprint. But he caught up to her and was like, you know, let's not fight this. And she was like, nah, what, did you know this was me? Like, she was like, are you stalking me? Like, She got real scared, and then they ended up like planning to hook, like to link and hook up and just get it over with in person. And then they was hunching. I gave it 4.5 stars, 4 spices. Oh my gosh, it was a lot. I think it was the sound effects that the sound effects had me like, what? Macaroni in the pot, the slurps. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, I don't need no sound effects and no erotica. I just need to read the books. My mind can make up its own sound effects. I mean, the first time it made a sound effect, it was typing and I was like, what the fuck? Then I realized, either way, the plot was there. The story was good. Okay. Moving right along to the end of the month where I ended. India Carter? Girl, what you got going on? What do you got going on? What she got going on? She on one. The Danger series. 3 books. Tempted by Danger, Intrigued by Danger, and Captivated by Danger. Y'all, as a series, I gave it 5 stars because the continuation of the story, the character development, like, mwah, I really enjoyed it. Also, as a series, I gave it 4 spices because it was, I'm gonna tell y'all now, this is when I was talking about, I really do need to read the synopsis because the BDSM stuff, I am new. All I read was Bow Down. And I was like, okay, they ain't got shit on these books. And it started out all light, and then it just, from the beginning, Tempted by Danger, which was my favorite. I gave it 4.5 stars and 4 spices. And the reason is, I loved me some Diamond. He did not play about that girl. From the moment, so, it's a girl. Y'all don't know why I can't never remember the ladies' names. I kind of do, kind of don't, but I don't remember her name. Basically, this girl, she is trying to get a job in New York. She live out in Florida, and she ain't trying to get a job. His sister, the Danger family is huge. Mom, dad, there's 2 sets of twins, and 2, let me get my shit together because the kids is confusing. Okay, there's let me start. Declan and another one that are twin boys, firstborns. Then there's a girl, she was sick. Then they had another baby, and then there's Diamond, like 6 of them, right? But one of the sisters is out in Florida trying to do vacation with her husband or whatever, and she's at this orange grove enjoying it, and she's like, oh, you know what, you should come to New York, you would be da 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 da. This girl works in hospitality. She's like, nah, you know, I love what I do in my orange grove, blah blah blah. She works with her family, black owned, family owned, love it, love it. The mama ended up pressuring her to take the job, and her family get along great, really sweet. And so she take the job, and she working with this man named Diamond. He has been forced to take over his father's company. They treated him like shit. They sent him off to school because when he was younger, he decided to have an orgy and filmed it, and his family was like, no, we have a reputation to keep, whatever. And long story longer, she is his assistant, and he had been firing everybody left and right, revamped the whole company, brung it from the mud, got it together. And she walked in all bubbly cute, wearing orange, like everybody in the office is wearing black, white, gray, navy. She popped in orange, looking fire. I know she looked cute, but they also said she didn't want to look, they kept making it seem like she would look country. And I was like, okay, but did she, or was she like thick and fine? And y'all ain't used to that up in the New Yorks. Anyways, she wears him down, but he had a thing for her since. And so she, on the plane there, meets this guy, and he's like, you know, you should try this club and hopefully we match, blah blah blah. And so she runs into him again getting lunch, but by this time Diamond is watching her. He is stalking her. I don't know why. He like calls her all the time because she is his assistant, but he like owns like the place she lives has like a little bar or whatever, and it'd be hitting, and so people go there after work, and she's talking to this guy. He's on the cameras for the company watching her talk to him, calling, and he's like, you know what, you should come to this club, fill this out. He gives her a card and it's like, you know, fill out the information and hopefully we match. Do you know what this fool Diamond does? He goes, she fills out the card, submits it. He goes through and makes sure they match, and then pays 500. No, I'm sorry. I might be confusing the books. Nah, he do. He go on there and pays the money. They bid for her. They bid for the women. So she showed up at the club trying to have some fun, and they bidding, and the bidding stops. It's like she's like, she's talking to the other girls who do it. She's like, damn, what's going on? Like, and they like, oh my god, girl, you got maxed out. And she was like, what? And it's Diamond. So when she go to the room to meet, mind you, it's a sex club, and I didn't realize it was a sex club until they meet in a room with swings and stuff, and I was like, oh, what the? Is she in the? I said, wait a damn minute, what? That was me reading, and so she was like, what do you want? Like, cause he is so mean to her, and he's mean in like a way that it's like, I'm telling you what to do, or like, aren't you my assistant? And she like, if I'm gonna be on call 24 hours, I need more money, and I need a work phone, because you're not about to I'm not about to answer you on my personal phone. All you do is fuss and cuss and yell. And so he do all that. He give her a raise. He done pay $500,000 for her, $500,000, and she don't let him forget that he the one who paid for her. And y'all, once they come together, baby, he was turning her every way but loose. And I mean it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My goodness. They was hunching. Hunching. Not just hunching. Oh, they're hunching. Nah, they was humping. Humping, hunching. Okay? Whew. Anyways, they end up getting married. He don't stray. He be on her. He be on her. Then we go into the second book, which is about one of his older twin brothers. Mind you, the family has a lot of issues, and they daddy, he ain't shit. He introduced this twin to the life of being a dom when he was like 13. Just a trash ass dad, honestly. I got to say it. That danger dad, and fine as he wanna be. I could not stand him. I don't even remember his name. It started with a D too. I want to say Declan, but I feel like that's the third book guy. Either way, he sees this girl. He's out after his brother Diamond marries old girl who owns the Grove. They end up helping them because the Grove was being put up for sale, and her family didn't tell her, and so they ended up buying it. And so now his family has integrated, comes and visits, building houses out there, all kinds of shit. And so he's out there or whatever, and she's like, oh, that's so-and-so, my friend from high school. Shawty's parents are her mom cut Tui. Trash ass mom. But she's got this best friend that's super cool, super supportive. And y'all, oh my gosh. Okay, from the top, let's make it drop. Listen. She got drama. Her husband cheated on her with her cousin while she was going through recovering from a miscarriage. Her family, her mama and her grandma, those hussies, old heifers. Yeah, I said it. I know it's fictional, y'all, but they really made me want to fight. They was like, you need to be the bigger person and support them at their wedding. Girl, fuck you, my cousin, and the husband, and your daughter too. Anyways, they forced her to go. Her dad was like, you know what? And they had a color coordinated engagement party. Like, I get, okay, at your wedding, sure, I want y'all to wear this, but at the engagement party? Anyways, they go, and she's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're moving the wedding, hope you can make it. It's the date. They don't ever say the date, but the date is the day that her baby died. And she loses it, runs out the room crying, calls her best friend. Her best friend's like, girl, you thought I was gonna let you come here by yourself? I'm already outside. Who am I beating up? Her best friend's about that life, and mwah, love that. She leaves and ends up like, you know, her best friend's a hairdresser, so she gets her together. And she goes out on a date. She, like, some time passes. It goes to the guy. Meh. He's going through with some hoochie. He's trying to put out his house, and she is losing her shit. So flashback, she's feeling herself. She takes herself out. She's like, you know what, no, I ain't gonna be sad about this man and my cousin, because the cousin was only at the house to help her recover, and all she was doing was hunching her husband. Anyways, the husband shows up at dinner while Diamond and his wife, who is one of her friends from high school, and she's like, oh, you here by yourself? Girl, you look good, blah, blah, blah. She sat down. She's like, yeah, my husband and his brother coming, whatever, whatever. You know how you speak to someone you know. And she go and sit down, have her a little drink, have her a good little meal. And she like, dang, this all right. I'm feeling myself. People telling her how good she look. And the husband walk in like, oh, I see you finally got your life together. Anyways, she tries to leave. She's like, you know what? No, I had a good night. Pays for her food. Tries to leave. He grabbing her. So her friend from high school is like, he grabbing her. And her husband's like, baby, come. Mind your business. Mind your business. And she's like, he do it one more time and I'm going out there. And he was like, all right, you know, Diamond don't play about that lady. He didn't play about her. So he was like, all right, please don't let the man grab her again. She walk out and he is snatching her up. So she run. I want to say her name is Quincy. I don't know why, but the girl, Diamond's wife, goes out there and Diamond and the brother are on her tail because, you know, he ride for his lady. And so the brother Diamond and the brother like end up punking old dude, and he like backs down, walks away, and she's like, I'm fine, I'm gonna walk home myself. And she ended up venting the whole story to Diamond's brother, who's walking her home. Whole time he's silent, and he just let her get it off his chest. And she's like, you know what, thank you. And he goes, yeah, you know, you should put my number in your phone. And she was like, nah, but you can take mine. Or no, he basically put his number in the phone. And the next day she telling her best friend like, yeah, he put his number, but he didn't really put it in there, probably because I scared him off. Because she was talking about, she was like, I just want to walk into the ocean. Like, girl, it's not that deep. We can beat him up. Like, please don't. Never that. And so she couldn't find a number because she was gonna text him like, thanks for making sure I made it safe, and tell Quincy, I'm gonna call her Quincy, I know that's probably not her name, but she's like, and tell her thank you, and that, you know, I'm sorry that if she was embarrassed or whatever, but she couldn't find a number. Why the next day her friend was like, well, let me look. Why he save it as sir? Boy. Anyways, so the next day he sees them out at breakfast, because this is a small town, so her and her friends out at breakfast rehashing the night. He walks up with the family because, you know, Diamond done had kids, and she goes, he's like, so you didn't call me? And so then this guy walks up and is like trying to talk to her, and he was like, he got 5 seconds to leave from the table, like texting her. Why would you do that? Because now I'm gonna be like, what? And the man don't leave. He keep talking. She's like, oh yeah, I'm not interested, thank you. And then he touches her. And he was like, bring your ass to this truck right now. My story would have ended, because who the fuck are you talking to? But she was like, oh my God, like, you're not my man, da da da. And she take her ass to the truck. And her friend was like, you just go to the truck. Which makes sense after I read the 3rd book too, why she was so in agreement with her. But she goes to the truck, and he ties her up with the seatbelt and whoops her. What? That's what I said. I said, I would have had that truck rocking. Rocking. I'm not into it, because she loved it. And then he decided to send her a binder of rules for her to follow, and he was nothing but cold and cruel to her outside of whatever the hell they was doing, getting spankings and all that shit. And if she misbehaved or didn't do something he liked, he would spank her, like tie her down and spank her. Sir, no. Anyways, she ended up wearing his ass out. Like, she was like, you know what? And her family, she decided to move to New York because that was one of the conditions. He got this binder that he gives these girls. They sign it and they get 2 things they want once he's tired of them, whatever that fucking meant. And all I'm here to say is she played the game correctly, and he ended up really liking her because he was about to slide down the wall crying, chest hurting, when he thought that she left him. But yeah, that was that book. I ain't gonna get too much into it. They was hunching. I gave it 4 stars and 4 spices. And I gave it 4 stars. Then the last, I was just saying that the third book, he basically finds out that his girlfriend wants an open relationship and is cheating on him virtually with some guys. She's not very present, and so he ends up linking up, like, after going through it. He watched her like do some freaky stuff at a restaurant in public with some stranger, and his friend was with him, and his friend was like, nah. And his friend went and beat the guy up, and he then was there like drinking after. And the girl from the second book her best friend is like, yo, what you doing here? She thought it was her friend's husband, and she is pregnant again with that man baby. And he was like, nah, it's not. He was like, dang, you could tell us apart because they twins. And she was like, nah, I just thought you were. And so they have this will they won't they push pull whole time. She's a dom. Shawty is a dom, and she got a sub that's cutting up. His wife done tow her truck up, her custom truck. I know she was hot. I was hot for her, and she almost shot her. She hit her with I'm gonna say shot. She busted her nose with the barrel of her shotgun. The girl, anyways, they had drama, but long story longer, she ended up hooking up with this other twin, and they had it on secret while he's trying to figure out what to do with his girlfriend. And they got a kid, and he's so sweet. The little boy is so sweet. He's like, I want her to cut my hair. She do hair and stuff. Y'all, they was nasty. I mean, I gave it was 4.5 spices and 4-star book. That's all I'm gonna say. If I had to pick my favorite again, it would be Diamond's story, then the last book, the first and the last book. I really did not care for that twin Declan, whichever one it was, that second one. Yeah, but that sums up February's reads. 15 books total, and I will say my favorites were Thick of Love, Just Right, and Caramel Delight. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you're reading, if you're reading with me, if you've read any of these and what your thoughts was. I'm intrigued to know. Yeah, but with that being said, y'all have a good March, and I will see y'all there next month, okay? Bye.